What does it mean to love when the entire world already belongs to you? For most people, love is private, intimate, hidden in whispered conversations and stolen moments. But for Michael Jackson, love was always something else. It was public and private, real and imagined, exaggerated by headlines and yet wrapped in mystery. Behind the moonwalk, behind the records, behind the flashing cameras, Michael was a man searching for something all of us crave: connection, intimacy, someone who truly understood him. And yet, the question remains, who did the king of pop really love? Who did he allow into that guarded, fragile heart? Michael's love life has been painted in rumors, gossip, and speculation. He was one of the most photographed people in history, but when it came to romance, the pictures rarely told the truth. Fans wanted to know who he kissed, who he held hands with, who he dreamed about when the lights went out. And tabloids, well, they were eager to invent their own answers. But behind the noise, there were real moments, real feelings, and glimpses of the man who, for all his fame, still longed to be loved like anyone else. Let's begin with the most famous of them all, Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis, the king of rock, and Michael, the king of pop. Their marriage in 1994 was more than just a love story. It was a collision of two dynasties, a union so shocking that the world didn't know how to process it. When the announcement came, people thought it was fake, a stunt, a publicity move. But for Michael, it was real. Lisa Marie was someone who understood the madness of fame, who grew up in a spotlight just as blinding, who knew the loneliness of being everyone's icon, but no one's own. Their love burned fast, passionate, and complicated. They kissed on stage at the MTV Awards, sending shockwaves across the world. Yet, behind the curtain, their relationship was filled with struggles, differences of personality, clashes of lifestyle, pressures of fame. Two legends colliding often create sparks, but sparks can also burn out. After 2 years, it was over, and yet, in interviews long after, Lisa Marie admitted she still loved him, that their connection was something no one could ever really understand. But Lisa Marie wasn't the only great chapter. There was also Debbie Rowe, the nurse who became Michael's second wife, and the mother of 2 of his children, Prince and Paris. Debbie's relationship with Michael wasn't the fiery tabloid romance people craved, but it was something else. Steady, loyal, built on deep friendship. She knew his struggles, his pain, his desire to be a father above all else. She gave him the gift of family, something he had always dreamed of. For Michael, who never had a normal childhood, being a father was perhaps his greatest love story of all. He adored his children, cherished them, protected them with everything he had. If you want to know Michael's truest love, maybe it wasn't a woman, maybe it wasn't fame, maybe it wasn't even music, maybe it was fatherhood. But let's not forget the crushes, the whispers, the rumored romances that fans still debate today. There were stories about Madonna, the queen of pop, who once appeared alongside him at award shows and even suggested a date. Their chemistry was undeniable, their combined star power unimaginable. But Madonna's fiery personality clashed with Michael's shy, sensitive nature. He once called her rude, while she found him too innocent. Their connection was more of a cultural fantasy than a lasting reality. Still, can you imagine what the world would have been like if Michael and Madonna had truly become a couple? There were whispers about Diana Ross, the woman Michael adored since childhood. She wasn't just a mentor, she was a muse, a guiding star. From the early Jackson 5 days, Diana was there, shaping him, protecting him, inspiring him. Michael often spoke of her with reverence, calling her his first great love, the woman who understood him before anyone else did. Was it romantic? Was it maternal? Was it both? Nobody really knows. But what is clear is that Diana occupied a sacred place in his heart until the very end. Even in his will, he left provisions for her, as if to say she would always be family, always be love. And then there were the endless rumors about Brooke Shields, about Tatiana Thompson, about secret romances the public never got to see. Brooke, the actress and model, was one of Michael's closest companions in the 80s. She later admitted he wanted more, that he dreamed of marrying her, but their timing was never right. Brooke cared deeply for him, but in a different way. To Michael, she was proof that he could love and be loved, even if it didn't end in marriage. Tatiana Thompson, the model from his The Way You Make Me Feel music video, spoke about her brief but intense connection with him. To the world, it was just a performance, but for her, it was real. She remembered the way he looked at her, the way he pulled her close, the chemistry that felt undeniable. For Michael, though, the line between performance and reality was always blurred. Was it love, or was it art? Sometimes in Michael's world, they were the same thing. But beyond the names and the rumors, the truth about Michael Jackson's loves is that he was often searching for something he could never quite find. He wanted innocence in a world that constantly corrupted it. He wanted loyalty in an industry built on betrayal. He wanted intimacy in a life where privacy was impossible. He wanted a fairy tale in a reality that was always harsher than he expected. Fans often wonder, did Michael ever find true love? The answer depends on how you define it. If true love means passion, then maybe Lisa Marie was the closest. If it means loyalty and family, then Debbie Rowe and his children were the heart of it. If it means inspiration, then Diana Ross was his eternal flame. And if it means friendship, then Brooke Shields was his safe place. Maybe Michael's heart wasn't meant for just one love. Maybe his life was a symphony of many loves, each playing its part in the melody of who he was. Think about it. This was a man who gave love to the world in ways that no one else could. Every concert, every song, every performance was a love letter to humanity. He loved his fans with a passion that was real and raw. He often spoke of feeling married to his audience, as if the stage was the only place he could truly give his heart without fear. For Michael, love wasn't just personal, it was universal. And yet, behind closed doors, he was still that boy from Gary, Indiana, who just wanted someone to hold his hand, to listen, to understand. Fame made it almost impossible. How do you trust someone when everyone wants a piece? Michael's loves were complicated because his life was complicated. But that doesn't mean they weren't real. Even after his passing, the people who knew him best still speak of his tenderness, his loyalty, his longing for love. Lisa Marie described him as a man who never stopped trying to be understood. Brooke Shields remembered his laughter, and Diana Ross to this day keeps his memory close, as if guarding a part of him that no one else can touch. So, who were the true loves of Michael Jackson? They were the women who stood beside him, the children who gave him joy, the fans who never stopped believing, and the music itself, which was perhaps his greatest romance. Michael once sang, "You are not alone." Maybe it was his message to the world, and maybe deep down it was also his prayer. Because for all the rumors, for all the scandals, for all the flashing cameras, Michael Jackson was just a man searching for what we all search for: love. And perhaps that's why his story still touches us, why we still debate, still wonder, still dream about who he loved and how he was the reminder that even the biggest stars still long for the simplest human thing: to love and to be loved in return.